With Wizards of the Coast announcing the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Hello and welcome to FDS. My name is Nate and I am your host. Today is my Kamigawa Neon Dynasty wish list. With Wizards of the Coast kicking off the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty spoilers next week on January 27th, I thought it would be fun to do a quick wish list of cards that I would like to see reprinted in the new set from the original block of Kamigawa. I tried to be somewhat strategic in my selections. I tried to avoid cards that were recently reprinted. The most obvious example is Pithing Needle, which was reprinted in Midnight Hunt just a set and a half ago. I also tried to avoid cards that had mechanics from the original block that probably wouldn't be returning in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. For example, Bushido is probably not going to be returning in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, so I avoided picking cards like Brothers Yamazaki. I also didn't select characters that wouldn't make sense within the story. So, for example, I avoided selecting cards like Kikijiki, who probably wouldn't have survived 12,000 years to make it to the modern set, unless there's some lore reason that makes him immortal. I avoided characters like that. One other thing I wanted to note that I found interesting was that a majority of these cards actually come from the set Champions of Kamigawa. Only a few come from Betrayers of Kamigawa or Saviors of Kamigawa. I just found it interesting that a majority of the quote-unquote iconic cards from the Kamigawa block came from the first set. That's not to say that Betrayers and Saviors don't have iconic cards. They do, but I was just surprised at how few. So with all of that out of the way, let's get to my wish list. So number one on my wish list of cards that I hope they print in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty from the original Kamigawa block, Sensei's Divining Top. Yeah, I'm kidding. I know they're not going to reprint this, but just for funsies, I'm just going to put it here because this is my super duper, oh my god, I really hope they do, but probably won't list. It only has this card on it. Maybe a couple others, but this one is for power level alone. For those of you who are unaware, Sensei's Divining Top, it's one colorless for an artifact. Pay 1, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order, or tap it, draw a card, and put Sensei's Divining Top on top of its owner's library. Yeah, it's pretty powerful and it's why it's banned in a couple of different formats. Now on to my real wish list that might actually happen, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. So the first one is Ghostly Prison. It's 2 and a white for an enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature attacking you. This card has recently been reprinted in Commander 2016 as well as Conspiracy Take the Crown, so it does show that Wizards is willing to reprint this. I think the only thing keeping it from being reprinted in a standard set is it does kind of suck a little bit of the fun factor out. I don't know, we'll see. It's one of those things where I won't be surprised if they reprint it, but I won't be surprised if they don't. So I guess neutral. Next is Gifts Ungiven. It's 3 and a blue for an instant. Search your library for 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, then shuffle your library. I think this card is a good card. I think it's fun. I don't think that they wouldn't reprint this due to its power level. I think 2 things may keep it from being reprinted. The first is the fact that it's going to slow down games. Stuff like this tends to slow down games because it's shuffling library, searching for cards, up to 4 cards with different names, that sort of thing. So it's going to slow down games, and that might be a reason why they don't reprint it. And another reason is it's banned in Commander, and for obvious reasons. With Wizards leaning into Commander recently, I would doubt they would print a card that is as good as this is, but already banned in Commander. Horobi, Death's Wail. Now this is a legendary creature. It is a character creature, but it's a spirit, so I can totally see a spirit living 12,000 years to make it to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This card is 2 and 2 black for a legendary creature spirit. It's a 4/4, flying. Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. I've always liked this card. It's a fun card to play, a little bit annoying to play against, but I don't think it's overpowered for standard at this time. It's a great build-around card. I really like it. I think the case against it being reprinted, frankly, is Hitotsugu. I think Hitotsugu is playing in that same space. I'll be interested to see, but I hope. We'll see. We'll find out. This next one I could totally see them reprinting. It wouldn't surprise me. It's been a while since it's been reprinted. Sakura Tribe Elder. It's 1 and a green for a creature snake shaman. It's a 1/1. Sacrifice Sakura Tribe Elder. Search your library for a basic land card, put that card into play tapped, then shuffle your library. Recently, they've done similar effects. I could totally see them including this in the set as a nod to the original Kamigawa block. And also, I just like him. Now, from Betrayers, there was one card that has recently been reprinted in Time Spiral Remastered, but I think it actually might get reprinted here as well, and that is Ninja of the Deep Hours. It is 3 and a blue for a creature human ninja. It's a 2/2. Ninjutsu, 1 and a blue. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card into play from your hand tapped and attacking. Whenever Ninja of the Deep Hours deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. So yeah, I could see a lot of fun shenanigans happening with this card. And while it was recently reprinted, again, it was a supplemental set, so I could see them reprinting it again in standard. But this is a pretty powerful effect that I think would work quite well within Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, so we'll see. 1 with nothing. I just would really like them to reprint 1 with nothing. It is 1 black for an instant, discard your hand. That's it. Just discard. No other effects, no draw as many cards, not draw a card, not just discard your hand. What I would love to see is them reprint this, but also have another card that maybe does damage every time you discard a card. So you have 7 cards in your hand, that's automatically 14 damage to an opponent. That's way too powerful and they'll never do that, but I just think it would be fun. They're not going to reprint this card. The case against this card is that it is utter trash, but I just would find it hilarious if they did. But this is my wish list. What did you think of it? What do you think they're going to reprint in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty? What would you like to see them reprint from the original Kamigawa block? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, click on that. Click on that over there. It's over there now. This show is part of the CIP network, inspiring creativity, one episode at a time.